We're standing here with AIC Women's Track and Field Senior Bidemi Balogun. Bidemi, we are about to head to the 2012 NCAA Indoor Championships. This is going to be the fourth trip for you. Just kind of, talk about what that means to be a four-time participant in the Indoor Championships.
Well, for me, it's just a blessing because coming into college, I really didn't plan on doing so great. So I'm just really glad and I'm excited to be going for the fourth time for indoor.
Now you actually became our first ever track and field All-American your freshman year. You just missed out on All-America last year. What are some of the things you may be trying to work on this season to try to prepare yourself to hopefully get that second All-America certificate?
This year we actually worked more on speed like usual, but this time we tried really being aggressive, especially coming into the spins, straight from the wind. So I think that's going to make like a really big difference once I enter the circle.
Now, obviously, you're going to be the only women's participant for us, unfortunately. Any little added pressure, I guess, or anything in particular you're trying to do while you're out there to kind of represent all the girls for us?
All American, that's all I can do. But at the end of the day, we're all just a big team, so I just go out there and do my best.
And I guess just a perfect lead-in for that. Have your teammates been able to help you at all? Is there anything you've been able to kind of work on, with each other to try to, help you do better this time around?
Well, they always support me, which is really excellent. I just love the support that they gave me. And this year we actually had some male throwers from my old high school, so that really, really helped because I actually had somebody to throw against.
That's it. Standing here with AIC senior men's track and field athlete Dominic Smith. Dom, you're about to head to the 2012 Indoor Championships. Seated second in the 400 going in after being the top dog pretty much the entire year. Just kind of talk about how the season's gone for you heading into nationals.
The season's been pretty good. We went to the Penn State National meet early and we got the auto for that, so we went ahead and put that in the bag. Then I ran the 200, hurt myself a little bit, and then we tried to get me back into shape, and then I actually hurt myself going into conference, and I had to run injured. So, I mean, I've gone through a little bit this year, but everything's as it should be, and I'm ready to go.
Now, I guess, that being that you've been banged up, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling 100%. I'm feeling good. I don't have any pains. I hadn't had to get any treatment or anything like that, so everything's ready to go and fast.
All right. Now, obviously, last year you had a very good showing. You were the runner-up, I believe. Does that give you any extra, motivation to try to, push yourself a little bit more and, try to become our first national champ?
Not really. I don't think about last year because this is a brand new year and nothing's a guarantee. Just because I was second last year to a senior doesn't mean it's mine. I got to go in there and I got to do what I got to do. I got to execute like I've been. I got to beat. If there's 16 guys in it, I got to beat all 16 guys, and that's about it.
And we're now here with AIC senior Maurice Calenda. Maurice, we're about to send you off to the 2012 NCAA Indoor Championships. It's got to be a pretty special year for you, considering you had last year that you lost to injury, had to come back. You got part of your mission accomplished. You reclaimed the Northeast 10 championships in the long jump and the triple. Just kind of talk about what that experience has been like so far.
It's been kind of a roller coaster event. I didn't come into the season with a lot of expectations, like I've talked to you before about, but just to be able to, compete at a high level again and show that, and it shows that because I'm going to nationals for 2 events in which I hopefully will become an All-American in.
Now, you put out some pretty good numbers at the New England Championships just a couple of weeks ago. Just kind of talk about the way, I guess, your training's kind of gone this year to lead up to such an improvement over where you've been before.
My training has been different from what I usually do. Usually I work on more endurance, but this year it's been more core strength and just being more powerful on the runway. I actually changed my runway to where I'm more conservative in the beginning, but I'm not so passive where that my speed isn't at its greatest point when I get to the board. So that's just probably been the biggest thing as far as this season has gone.
Now, as far as the meet itself goes, obviously this is going to be your last chance to go to the Indoor Championships. Is it pretty much All-America or bust, or do you think we can expect something even better out of you?
I mean, that's always my goal is always to be an All-American. I've been saying All-American or bust this whole year, but once I put it in perspective of where I've been last year to where I am now, it's just being there and be able to compete with other great athletes from other schools, it's just phenomenal to me. And like I said, I'm pretty confident I'll be an All-American. But like I said, if it's a bust, it's just another experience of which I take or I have to improve.
Standing here with AIC senior men's track and field athlete James Mee. James, you're about to head to the 2012 NCAA Indoor Championships as part of the distance medley relay team. Just kind of, being the representative of that group, talk about, how you guys kind of got to this spot in the season.
We did really well this year on the DMR. We had 3 teams qualifying separately. I was in the B team out of the 3. But we've got enough strength and depth this year where we can allow some individuals to focus on their own events, and for people like me, Dennis and Curtis to qualify in the DMR and hopefully get some All-Americans in between us.
Now, just kind of talk about how the season sort of progressed. Like you mentioned, we had 3 different combinations, and it seemed like we kind of found like the right one at the end of the season. Just kind of talk about how that kind of came about.
Well, it was probably through trial and error, really. We always knew, in terms of the milers, it was going to be Glarius or Jeremy as the standout athletes, really. Myself was on the mile leg for the B team, which ended up working out pretty well because it gave Glarius a speed workout on the 1200. And it shows we've got real strength in depth this year because we've got our number 1 miler, not even in the team, Jeremy, who's ran 4:03. So we've done well. I think we seeded 8th going into the event. I'm sure we'll all be aiming for the top 5 and hopefully run PRs individually and hopefully do well.
Now, just for those who aren't necessarily familiar with the sport and what exactly is entailed in the event, just kind of describe the legs of the race for everybody.
Yeah, the DMR is a different event. It's a 1200 metre leg first, which I believe I'm going to be on, and the 400 is Denny Stevenson, the guy from Jamaica. 800 metre leg is Curtis Johnson, then on the ankle leg is Glarius Rop. He's also running the 5K individually.
We're standing here with AIC men's track and field athlete Glarius Rop. Glarius, you're about to head to the 2012 NCAA Indoor Championships, and you're actually going to be competing in 2 events. First as a member of the distance medley relay team on Friday, and then entering the 5K on Saturday. Just kind of talk about sort of a plan for yourself, I guess, considering you're going to be trying to do 2 things there.
Right. For sure. This kind of experience I got exposed to this year is that, unlike the 2 past years, I've never done 2 events, especially in the national level. So, it's been really, I've had to think about it most of the time. But when I, start thinking about it, I normally get a resolution that, it's going to be an advantage for me, because getting to the track on Friday for the DMR, with that kind of speed, and getting back on Saturday for the 5,000 meters, gives me some kind of confidence to really do well in both events.
Just kind of, I guess, talk about how the year's gone for you so far. Just a quick little recap, if you will. Obviously, you've been doing, a little bit more this year than in years past. Do you think that's made you, stronger overall, not just for the indoor championships, but heading into the outdoor season?
Right. From my observation, I can see that I'm really getting better since from my freshman year down to to my sophomore year. And now at my junior year, I really feel strong enough. And the only thing that I just did as a big difference together with my coaches was that they drilled me down to some short distance kind of speed. I had to do the 1200 most of the time. The 1500, and like in the past, I normally do a lot of 5,000 meters, in all kind of those meets. So that made me that strong enough and to go for it. Come Saturday and Friday, and I'm very confident that I'm going to do well in this meet.
Now, just kind of based on that, any sort of expectations you have for yourself going out there?
Well, I've done some little bit of my statistics on my own self. I've been trying to meditate about it. Sometimes I do meditate, and at one point I feel like, it's not going to work. I've done some statistics from the past. I realized that the track hosted the meet 2008, and the performance, as I try to compare with myself, I feel that, we're really out there to do some big things compared to the past. And I realized that also I'm going to compete against, especially in the 5K. people who won the cross country, whereby I had to take a lead for like three kilometers before they came and take the lead. This was because I can say it was really snowing. So, but now come to the indoor, I'm very confident that hopefully if I take a good lead, I'm going to do something great come on Saturday. Thank you.
And now we're here with AIC freshman men's track and field athlete Jeremy Antivo. Jeremy, you're about to head to the NCAA Indoor Championships. Obviously, being a freshman, it's your first time going. Just kind of recap this season, for us from kind of the beginning. Talk about how things progressed to get you to this point.
It all started last summer. I just put in a much stronger base in cross country. Just put a lot more mileage and just stayed healthy really. And going into track, I realized it was going to be a different year when I opened up at Northeastern with a 4:15, which is a PR in the mile, already indoor the first meet. And just since then, just staying healthy and just training consistently.
Now, coming into the year, I mean, from the sounds of it, doesn't really sound like you expected to necessarily be at this point. Is there anything in particular you can think of that helped you progress as fast as you did?
Probably just the team. There's really talented guys on the team just to train with, and we have a good bond, and we all just train well together, just mesh well together.
And now, just for those who maybe did miss it, you were named, you received an award at the Northeast 10 Championship. If you could just kind of, tell everybody about that entire experience and then being named the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, that was a crazy meet. Going into it, I wasn't really sure how any of the races would go, and the mile ended up going perfectly, where it was just basically a sit and kick race, and I had enough energy after that to complete the triple, and I came in 6th in the 1,000, which is good because it was pretty soon after the mile, and then basically the relay, the DMR, I ran pretty bad, but Glarius saved the relay, so that was good.
Okay. Any extra pressure you may be putting on yourself going out there, or are you just trying to have fun with it being it's your first trip to nationals?
I mean, I like to think that I'm having fun, but there's always pressure just being a freshman, but I'm really excited. So